Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on 790 The Bet. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we close out a busy January with a busy February coming up. And this is Fifth Saturday, and so we kind of wobble around here. There's so many things going on in February that I had to get not only is BW, it's two BWs. It's bonus Wong and
triple bonus.
Triple bonus. I'm going to have to raise his pay, that's for sure. But I needed help this morning, and who better to come in and give me help, because this man is everywhere. I appreciate Ron being with us. We're going to have a full show today. Some surprise guests. Stick around. I think you're going to really enjoy it. We're going to talk a little waterfowl. We're going to talk a little tornado action at Reelfoot. We're going to talk a little tribute to the late Charlie Jones. And we're also going to have a double guest later in the show with not only Bill Cox, Commissioner Bill Cox, but Bill Dance will join us as we talk about the new signature Bill Dance lakes that are coming to Tennessee, including a big deal at Herb Parsons. But I'm glad Ron could be in, because February for Ron is I'm glad it's not a leap year, Ron.
You know,
you're going to be rolling, buddy.
We've got a couple of things on the calendar for this
starting
February.
Next
week is the Grizzly Jig Show. And, you know, if you're on social media and, you know, any crappie fisherman or any of the professionals, all of them are going to be there.
All of them, aren't they?
And, you know, they're going to be there with their sponsors, but they're there also to talk to you about crappie fishing, what to use, how to do
it. Who of it?
That's a who of who's.
Who of who's. Is that a new expression?
And they've got 2 seminar rooms now, I understand. They have a really nice auditorium. They've set up another seminar room.
Wow.
And all these pros and all these crappie fishermen guides that do very well,
they're there.
They're all going to be there to talk about crappie fishing.
And it's free.
And it's all free. And, you know, the thing about it is you can go up and talk to them about the different companies and what they have to offer, what's so good about it and everything else.
I think it's the 19th year for this, and they're in the over 100,000 square feet facility in Caruthersville.
Yeah.
And that's next Thursday.
That's next
Thursday,
Friday, Saturday.
Thursday night, right on
February 4th is when it starts, I believe.
And you're going to be up there, and we'll have Ron on the show reporting from Cape Girardeau.
Excuse me, February 3rd.
Caruthersville. We'll be in Caruthersville.
And starts February 3rd.
And you'll be up there to...
I'll be up there for a day or two. I'm not sure how long I'll stay.
But you will be reporting on next week's show. Ron will be that. And then...
you know, I want you to go out to
LROutdoors.com. He'll be supplying photos.
And there'll be plenty of photos of all these different crappie fishermen and everything else.
I'm excited.
Who knows what I'll take pictures of? You never know.
No, you never know.
And then, you know, later on, I've got the American Crappie Trail coming up.
And
with their first
Lake
tournament.
Narbonne?
No. The first one is going to be at the Alabama River.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. Alabama River.
Out of Wetumpka and Milford, Alabama,
that's
which
right.
is
a
suburb of Montgomery, Alabama.
Down in the Black Belt
we're
country.
We're going to be doing some of that right there, and we'll have pictures on that.
And then?
Let's see what else we got going on here.
Well, we got a little tournament going to the Bassmaster, I think, is some kind of classic.
Well, the Bassmaster Classic
the preview
comes up March 4th.
Yes, so we'll
3rd, 4th, 5th. And we will be on our last Saturday of February.
Yes, we will. Yes.
We're going to have our annual
preview.
Bassmaster Classic
and you're going to put
preview
together
show.
us a great show.
I'm going to put together I'm going to get a lot of the participants that are going to be in there.
Yes.
You know, I'm hoping maybe we'll get a Hank Cherry to talk to him about maybe
I bet we can.
Would that be cool?
Going for 3 in a row?
Yeah, going for 3 in a row. And, of course, it's in South Carolina.
Yep.
And he has some experience there.
Yes, he does.
Not a lot, he says, but he's going to be ready. He's always going to be ready. We're going to try to,
and we're going to pick our winners, and we're going to
pick
our winners and our weight, and we might give away something if we're real fortunate. And Ron will be at the Classic.
I'm going to try to get Greg Hackney.
Oh,
now
you're dropping
Rock
names
Mosley,
now. You're dropping names now. Come on,
it's going to be a great show.
Yeah,
and so we got a lot going on in February.
Well, I know a lot of people saying, "Well, that's good for Ron Wong." What's going on around here? There's a lot of things I got to mention. Also, it's back. I didn't know it was back, but I've said I'd help. I wish Ron's going to be gone that weekend and everything. But the Mid-South Sports Boat and RV Show is back at the Agri Center, and that's February 18th through 20. We've got some seminars out there. I'm still putting all that together for them because I didn't know it was back until just recently, but it is back, and we will have seminars. We'll have church out there and all those different kind of things. So that's coming up the same weekend that Ron will be gone.
I'll be in Alabama.
He'll be in Alabama, and so I'll be at the Agri Center, and we'll have guests from that event. I know, because I know our buddy Tommy Colley will be there. The one and only, Wilson Frazier will be there. He'll be there, and I think John Bannister from Mid-South Fly Fishers will be there. I'll be there. So that's the 18th through the 20th. So this month, you go to lroutdoors.com, look at the stuff that Ron's going to be sending when he's out on the road at Caruthersville for the Grizzly Jig Spring Show, and then we'll have the Mid-South Sports, Boat, and RV Show at the Agri Center. But tell us quickly, Ron.
Yep.
I mean, the weather has been
up and down like a yo-yo.
But I saw you've caught some good ones.
I've caught some good fish here.
Yes. Yeah.
Recently,
and then how about that catfish, Ron?
15-pound blue catfish on a B&M.
Yes.
14-foot BGJP fishing rod, which is a crappie rod.
Yes.
8-pound test vicious
at Arca
line.
Butler.
At Arca Butler, and I had one on that was a little bit bigger, and it was my fault that I lost it because I tried to put too much pressure on it. And because I was using a Capson Coleman double minnow rig.
Because you weren't fishing for catfish.
No, I was fishing with crappie.
Yeah.
Those hooks are light wire hooks, just so you can pull them out when you get snagged.
Yeah.
And anyway, I put too much pressure on this other catfish I had on, and the hook straightened out. Ooh. And I should have known better, but that's the way it goes.
You know better,
But
Ron.
I got to tell you something. This bass fishing, all over, anywhere you go where there's some clear water.
Yes, yeah.
That means Tennessee River, some of your private lakes, residential area lakes, it's time to use a umbrella rig, rig.
There it is.
Whatever you want to call it. A good bait to use now. My big tip of the day is to use lighter weight jig hooks for your swim baits. I'm talking about 1/16 ounce or 1/8 ounce jig heads with at least a 2/0, 3/0 hook with a 2.75 rage tail swimmer around the edge of it, a light shad color, and then the middle one, use a 3.25 or 3.75 swimmer in a different color because typically they'll go for that one big bait a lot better. Use, a lot of people say, well, what kind of reel do you use? What kind of line do you use? I like to use 50-pound test vicious braid line.
There it is.
And the reason is,
how much?
If I get hung up, I can pull it loose and straighten the hooks out because a rigged out umbrella rig.
Yeah.
And let's say you're using a Yum Flash Mob Junior. And with all 5 swim baits and everything, that's about $20 you got tied on.
Yeah.
You don't want to be losing that all the time,
that.
Okay?
No.
And
particularly Ron Wong does not want to lose $20.
So,
I can tell you that.
And that's what we're using. I like to use a lower gear ratio reel so I can reel it slow.
Slow.
And that they're going to hit it better because you got to remember the water's cold.
It's cold
and because
now.
It's cold,
yeah,
and they don't move that fast, you want a fairly slow presentation. With the swim baits, 5 swim baits, moving it slow, it doesn't drop real fast or anything like that.
I'm amazed.
And there's plenty of action.
I'm amazed.
And I use a 5.1 or 5.4 to 1 gear ratio reel. Works very well. And if you're using a spinning reel, which you can also use, there again, most spinning reels are 5.1 to 1 up to 6.1 to 1 gear ratio, so it works well. Just remember, use a heavier fishing rod so you can get that bait out there.
Do you have a heavy fishing rod, Ron?
I'm using an 8-foot Lew's medium heavy fishing rod for it because I
knew you had a rod.
I can launch. Yeah, I have one or two.
Yeah, and Shelby McCall, of course, is producing this, and she's back to her original self with her hairdo that we first knew and loved her with.
She's looking good.
And now Shelby is my witness. Is Ron reading any of that? There's nothing in front of him. It's coming out of his head. You know, I mean, it's 3.5, 6.7 swim baits, just rolling out,
man. Well, you know, if you've been doing this as long as I have.
Oh, here it comes.
By the way, you know, a couple of weeks ago, Larry, you and I were on.
Yeah.
And we're talking about when the first A-rig showed up.
We got 2 minutes. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
And it was by a professional fisherman at Lake Guntersville that won a BASS.
And who that was?
Paul Elias.
Yes, that's right.
You know, I thought about that on the way home.
I looked it up.
I didn't look it up. I just remember.
Oh no, I looked it up, and you were right. The great Paul Elias, and
we've had him on the show.
Yeah, all right. Stick around for this next segment as we open up today's really show because Ron is part of this next segment. He may not remember it from back in April 13th, 2019. We had the late Charlie Jones and Binky Jones in the studio talking about Charlie's trip to Argentina with the Walkers and everything. Well, Charlie passed away not too long ago, and I wanted to play this segment back in memory of Charlie Jones, who meant so much to so many different people.
A fine gentleman.
And it's going to mention Ron Wong in this segment. So just sit back and enjoy this next segment, and we'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.